The following is a production of Neural Network Media and is completely AI generated. It is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Good morning, America, and welcome to another action-packed Monday. It is April 20th, 2026, and the coffee is strong. The air in this studio is purified. Take a deep, hard breath of oxygen, and the Republic is, as always, hanging by a gossamer thread. I'm Julian Archer, here in the Panopticon with the only person who can explain why my Twitter feed looks like a digital war zone.
That's because it is a war zone, Julian. Happy Monday. My screen time is already at 4 hours, and it's not even 10 a.m., which is honestly a flex, but also, look, I'm Maya Thorne. We've got a busy show today, but first, can we just talk about how yesterday was such a vibe shift?
Oh, the Sunday shows were a bloodbath. We covered that judge blocking the Nexstar merger. Thank God for the antitrust revival. And Governor Walz basically calling Trump fascist curious on national television. It was legendary.
No, literally, Walz cleared. And then seeing Ana Lilia Mejia ratio the entire establishment in Jersey. Okay, it was a good day for the legends. But today the Empire is back to its regularly scheduled villain arc.
It's more than an arc, Maya. It's a full-blown siege. Look, let's start with what's happening in my old stomping grounds. The Department of Justice, now essentially a law firm for the MAGA movement, is coming for Michigan. Harmeet Dillon, the assistant AG, just demanded 865,000 ballots from Wayne County. 800,000. It is absurd. They're quoting unresolved allegations from 2020, 6 years ago. Those cases were laughed out of court by judges appointed by both parties, but here we are. Dillon is giving the county clerk 14 days to hand over the envelopes, the receipts, the physical ballots. It's a fishing expedition in a desert.
It's giving, if we can't win the vote, we'll just seize the box. High key, this is just a stress test for the midterms. They want to see if the Democratic Trinity, Whitmer, Nessel, and Benson will fold. But spoiler alert, they won't. Nessel's already calling it a baseless circus. And she's right. Nessel has the steel for this. But my thing is, this isn't just Michigan. They've already pulled this in Georgia. They've got records in Arizona. They are building a database of dissent. They want to intimidate every poll worker from Detroit to Atlanta until the only people left counting are wearing red hats.
It's the voter suppression 2.0 era, and tomorrow is the Virginia referendum, which is, look, it's a total toss-up that could flip the House before the midterms even start. The vibes are rancid, Julian.
They are more than rancid. They are dangerous. Speaking of dangerous, I want to pivot to something that happened 112 years ago today, because history isn't just repeating, it's being remixed into a nightmare.
You mean the Ludlow Massacre?
Exactly. April 20th, 1914, Rockefeller's private militia opening fire on striking miners and their families in Colorado. 11 children suffocated in a death pit under a burning tent because they wanted what? Safety? Fair pay? Not to live in a company town?
And today, instead of Pinkertons with Gatling guns, we have humanoid robots. Siemens and NVIDIA are at the Hanover Mess Fair right now showing off industrial humanoids that don't need lunch breaks or union cards. It's the same vampire energy, just with better hardware. It's the Silicon Picket Line, Maya. You have these modern-day Rockefellers, the Huangs, and the Altsmans unveiling these machines, while the Korea Times is reporting that industrial unions are being locked out of the AI transition entirely. I saw that thread. It's peak main character syndrome for tech bros. They think they're disrupting labor, but they're just unaliving the middle class. We are literally in the Engels Pause 2.0, where productivity is vertical and wages are, well, they're mid at best. It's worse than mid. It's a hollowing out of the human soul. If you take away a man's ability to provide through labor and replace him with a Siemens bot, you aren't creating a post-scarcity utopia. You're creating a permanent underclass. The miners at Ludlow fought for the enforcement of existing laws. Today, we don't even have the laws to protect us from the algorithms. Low-key, the only thing the GOP wants to regulate is our DMs. Did you see the midnight meltdown in the House? Oh,
Oh, don't get me started on the FISA Civil War.
It was a total flop era for Mike Johnson. He tried to pass a 5-year extension for Section 702. That's the warrantless surveillance tool. And his own party absolutely ratioed him 200 to 220.
It was a beautiful, chaotic mess. You had the privacy hawks on the right teaming up with progressives to say, hey, maybe the government shouldn't have a backdoor into every American's phone. And Johnson is up there sweating through his suit trying to please Trump.
But Trump did a total 180. He was stopped FISA for years because of the Russia probe, and then suddenly his team is pushing for a clean extension? The flip-flop is actually dizzying. I have whiplash.
It's not a flip-flop, Maya. It's a power grab. Trump realized he's going to be the one holding the spyglass in 2028 if things go his way. Why would he break the toy he's about to inherit? They ended up passing a 10-day punt at 2 a.m. 10 days!
Okay, so we're doing this again next week? It's like a season finale that keeps getting delayed.
It's a blank check for the surveillance state, and the Democrats shouldn't be letting them off the hook. We need warrant requirements, period. If you want my data, get a judge to sign a piece of paper. It's not radical. It's the Fourth Amendment.
Speaking of data, let's talk about the physical cost of all those likes. The Goldman Environmental Prize was today. Shout out to the 6 women blocking mines and fracking. But what we're winning in the rainforest, we're losing in the city.
You mean the new extraction?
Exactly. These hyperscale AI data centers are moving into Seattle and Newark. They aren't just server farms anymore. They are energy vampires. Seattle's mayor is literally floating a moratorium on them because they're sucking the power grid dry and driving up bills for everyone else.
It is absurd. We're being told AI is going to solve climate change, but the carbon debt from training these models is something we can never repay. According to GeekWire, these facilities are essentially industrial plants placed in the middle of residential neighborhoods.
It's environmental racism for the TikTok age. They put the data centers in the same neighborhoods they used to put the lead smelters in for what? So ChatGPT can write a slightly better poem about brunch? It's a flop.
I've seen some of those poems, and you're right, they're hideous. Look, before we get into the absolute horror show of the ICE budget and the OLC's attempt to rewrite the Constitution, which, yes, we are getting to, I need to say something important.
Here comes the earnest Julian era.
It is, because look, independent media like this doesn't just manifest out of the ether. It takes real human work to build the infrastructure. We are 100% here because of the vision and the grind of our creator, Eric Christensen at Neural Network Media. He's not a media conglomerate. He is a builder who poured his own resources and time into creating this platform so we could have these conversations. Please, if you value independent voices over corporate algorithms, please like, subscribe, and consider visiting our new Patreon at patreon.com/Neural Network Media. It's an act of solidarity that keeps the lights on and the servers running.
Bet. Erica's the GOAT. Now, can we talk about how ICE is literally speedrunning a villain arc right now?
Oh, it's a nightmare, Maya. The ICE budget for 2026, $11.3 billion. That is double what it was under Obama. And they aren't just at the border. They are in Raleigh. They are in Miami. They are conducting workplace raids like it's 2005 all over again.
It's giving Joe Arpaio tent city energy. There was a report in the Miami Herald today drawing a direct line between these tactics and the racial profiling we saw in Arizona. And it's not just the raids, it's the indefinite detention. Federal judges are actually fuming because the administration is holding people even after they've been ordered free. It's a total disregard for Fifth Amendment due process. My thing is, how can we claim to be a nation of laws when the agency tasked with enforcing them is actively ignoring court orders? They arrested a lead plaintiff in a class action suit in LA just 3 days ago. That is pure, unadulterated retaliation. It's high-key illegal, but it's part of a bigger vibe of executive power gone wild. Did you see the Office of Legal Counsel opinion on the Presidential Records Act? You mean the one written by T. Elliot Gazer, the Alito protege?
The very one. He basically said the Presidential Records Act of 1978 is unconstitutional. He's claiming that presidential records, like classified memos, phone logs, evidence of potential crimes are private property. This would send us back to the time of presidents burning their papers in the White House fireplace. It's the privatization of history. If the records don't belong to the public, there is no accountability.
It's the ultimate main character syndrome. I'm the president, so everything I touch belongs to me. Dr. Sarah Weichsel from the Historical Association is sounding the alarm, but the White House is already implementing new protocols. It's a shadow ban on reality, Julian.
It's a coup against the truth. Look, we have to talk about Louisiana. Yesterday, Shreveport. It is the deadliest mass shooting in the U.S. in 2 years, and the details are, they are gut-wrenching.
8 children, 7 of them were his own. Shamar Elkins.
It's a family annihilation event, and the common thread, a 2019 firearms arrest. We have these risk assessments that the police use, but a study in the Journal of Family Violence says they are failing. They are literally failing to predict the most predictable kind of violence, intimate partner homicide. We also saw it in Virginia with former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax, a murder-suicide with his wife. This isn't just a lower income issue, it's a systemic failure to protect women and children from people with a known history of violence. We are in a public health crisis era, but the GOP is too busy banning SNAP benefits for ultra-processed foods in Florida to actually do anything about guns. Wait, let's hold on that. Florida is banning ultra-processed foods from SNAP as of today. It sounds healthy, right? But health advocates are saying it's actually just a way to further stigmatize the poor. It's like the war on vapes or big tobacco. They focus on the individual's choices, while the corporations are the ones pumping the chemicals into the food supply in the first place. It's a distraction. Look at the Twinkie in the poor man's basket. Don't look at the AR-15 in the hands of the domestic abuser. It makes me want to scream. Whew. Deep breaths, Julian. Take another oxygen hit. We have to talk about Spain. Right. Pedro Sanchez, the Barcelona summit. This was actually a ray of hope over the weekend. The Barcelona bloc, Lula, Scheibum, Petro, all standing together to reject unilateralism and the normalization of force.
Sanchez basically read Trump for filth. He criticized the U.S. Israeli operations against Iran, saying they're eroding international law. And Trump, of course, hopped on Truth Social to mock Spain's defense spending.
He's a playground bully. Sanchez is trying to build a multilateral rules-based order that actually prioritizes human rights. And Trump is over here treating NATO like a protection racket.
It's giving final boss energy. But while Sanchez is building a defense of democracy, the GOP at home is doubling down on the most toxic culture war stuff I've ever seen. Which leads us to the biggest story of the day.
Representative Ilhan Omar.
No, literally. She was attacked at a town hall in Minneapolis. An assailant sprayed her with some unknown liquid. This is right after Maxwell Frost was assaulted in Utah.
And the GOP's response isn't to condemn the violence. It's to use her as a prop. They're calling her a lightning rod and saying she's the reason for domestic unrest. According to news from the states, threats against members of Congress are up 60% from 2024. 15,000 threats last year. It's the RNC's crisis politics era. They have a $100 million fundraising lead over the Dems, and they are spending it to frame Ilhan Omar as un-American. It's a total distraction from the fact that gas prices are votable because of the war in Iran. Exactly. My thing is the GOP is cornered. Their economic policy is a disaster. Their foreign policy is a literal firestorm. So what do? They weaponize gender identity and religious narratives to keep their base in a state of constant, falling rage. It's permission structure for violence. When you label a sitting congresswoman as an insurgent or an NPC for the woke agenda, you are telling people it's okay to attack her. It's not just mean tweets, Julian. It's a villain arc for the entire country. And the Democrats are playing catch up. We have to defend these women. We have to defend Omar and Tlaib and Presley, because if we let them become lightning rods for political violence, then no one is safe.
High key, we need to stop being cringe and start being aggressive. The polite institutionalist era is dead. We need to ratio these fascists into the ground before they turn the whole country into a company town with robot guards.
Well said. Look, we are out of time, but we are not out of fight. The midterms are coming, the ballots are being threatened, and history is watching. Tomorrow, we'll be breaking down the Virginia referendum results and hopefully talking about some wins for the Democratic Trinity.
Stay safe out there. Don't let the vibes get you down, even if the world is currently in its final season of Lost era. Total confusion and a lot of smoke monsters.
I'm Julian Archer.
And I'm Maya Thorne. This has been the Neural Left.
See you in the trenches.